Nom 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 nom. Nom 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 nom.
Go ahead and make 6 single crochets in a magic ring with my main color. So my last single crochet, which is my 6th single crochet, I will not finish in my main color. I will switch back to color white. It's actually off white, so I'll pass that, and I will also pass my stitch marker. So for round 2 we are going to be working single crochet increase. Do not fasten off the main color, because we'll be interchanging, we'll be switching between these two colors. Switching between the two colors as we go. So for round 2 we are going to be working single crochet increase inside each and every of our 6 stitches, but we'll be doing this in the back loop only. So we're going to the back loop right here, work my first single crochet, and I'll go back inside and add one more. So that's my first increase. I'll go ahead and repeat the same thing all the way 5 more times, and that will bring me right here. If you are a beginner, I would suggest you put stitch marker in the front loop of the 6 stitches we just finished. So you put stitch markers in the front loops, and I will not be completing my last single crochet in this color. I'll switch back to this, and after completing that I will pass my stitch marker. Okay. And for this next round we are going to be working increase, then work 2 single crochet, make an increase, then work 2 single crochets. But in this round we are working in both loops. So we'll start with an increase, then I will go ahead and work 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So we'll go ahead and repeat this 3 more times, and at the end of round 3 we are going to have 16 stitches in total. So for my final single crochet, I will not finish it in this color. I will switch back to color cream, color white, whichever color you are using. And for this round, I'll pass my stitch marker. Just go ahead and work 1 single crochet into each and every of my 16 stitches. So go ahead and do that. So I will not finish my last single crochet in that color. I'll switch back to pink, and I'll pass my stitch marker. So for this round again, we repeat the same thing we just finished. We go ahead and work 1 single crochet into each and every of our 16 stitches. So when we are done with this, I will come back and let you know the next thing to do. So before I finish that round, I will switch back to color white. I'll pass, my stitch marker, and for this round we'll start decreasing. We are going to make a decrease, then work 2 single crochets. Make a decrease, then we work 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. So I'll go ahead and repeat this 3 more times, and that will bring me to the end of the round. So for my final stitch, I'm not going to be completing it in this color. As you can see, I went ahead and stuffed it up. I'll switch back to my pink color. And for this final round, we are going to work 6 decrease. We are going to be decreasing 6 times. So I will hide this along for a few stitches, and I will go ahead and fasten off this color. So we pick the front loop. Okay, I need to pass my stitch marker first, and we are going to decrease 6 times. We are decreasing all through. So I'll go ahead and repeat that 5 more times. So after completing this, I will chain 1. I'll fasten off, because I will leave a long tail. I'm going to close that up, and I'll fasten off the previous color as well. And I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to tuck that in, and I'll remove my stitch marker, and I'll grab my needle. So just like we did for the hearts, that will pick the front loops, but for this candy we'll be picking the back loop of the 6 stitches we have left. We are not picking the front loops, because we will be working in the front loop, just like we skipped the front loop here. So starting from the first stitch here, I'll go from inside. I'll go like this, I'll pick the back loop. So that's 1. The next, that's 2. The next, we're picking the back loops only. That's 3, 4, 5, and the last one, 6. Now pull that tight, and after closing that up, I will make a knot somewhere around the side like so, and I will hide the tail in the candy. So after that, I'll grab this color, the off-white or the cream color. I will grab that, and we are going to work the edge of our candy. So you see the front loops we have here on the front, and also at the back we have the front loops. We are going to be working around them. So we should have 6 here, and we have 6 here. So I'll grab my hook and my yarn. So remember we have 6, so we are going to pick 2 together. So we are going to be working in 3 stitches. I hope that makes sense. So I'll pick this one, and I'll pick the one right opposite. So I'll pick 2 together like that, like so. So I have a slip knot on my yarn. Now I'll go ahead, I will join with chain 2. I'll chain 2, 1, 2, and I'll go ahead and work 1/2 double crochet inside the same loops, So I'll go through them again. Now we are going to put 2 loops. I want to hide this tail as I work. So that's 1. So the next will be this loop right here and this right here at the back. So I grab my yarn tail. Okay, I think I will remove I did not yarn over. So yarn over, so I will go right in and the one at the back. And I'll work my 1/2 double crochet. Yarn over, and with the very last one, go through the front loop. Should be these 2. Let me pick that out. Let me try and see. This right here, and we have this at the back. Just 2 stitches right there. So, okay, this. The last 2 can be quite tricky. So I think I will do this off cam. I'll pick my 2 last stitches. So I pick that and I'll work my 1/2 double crochet. Okay, so hide that. So we have the first row done. So for the second row, I'll chain 2, and into this very same, this chain 2 does not count as a stitch. So into this very first stitch, I'll work 1/2 double crochet, and I'll go inside that same space and add 1 single crochet. And into the next stitch, I'll work 2 single crochets inside 1 stitch. So 1, I'll go back inside and add 1 more. So, and into the very last, I'll work a single crochet. Now finish with a 1/2 double crochet, the same thing we started with. So I will chain 1 and fasten off. So we have the first side completed. We go ahead and repeat the same thing for the second side, and after that you weave in your hands and you go ahead and do 3 more in different colors. So when I have all this done, I'll come and show you what they look like, and we'll come and start assembling our pieces together. So I have my 4 candies done. Look at these colors. So I actually made them with the colors I used for the hearts, or like a matching colors. So we have the red, we have the green, we have the gold, and the pink. So it's actually optional. It's up to you how you want to mix your colors. So right now, let's start joining our pieces together. So for our swing, we are going to start with the pockets. We are going to sew the belly patch or the pocket to the body. So we are going to sew from round. So we are going to start counting from the row after we join the inner mouth. So start counting from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So between round 4 and 5, that's where we start sewing and all the way to this place. So I'll thread my needle. So this is what we are going to do. We are going to sew like this. We are going to leave this top open. So we are sewing in this manner, like so. So I will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So between round 4 and 5, I'll go right in and pick a stitch from the body. After that, I'll pick a stitch from the patch. So that's how we are just going to keep joining the stitch from this. I'll move down from the body, pick a stitch from the body, like so, and go ahead and pick a stitch from the patch. Let me show you that one more time. Pick a stitch, and you can jump stitches. You don't need to pick row for row. Pass that from the body, come out. Now pass to the next on the patch. Move again, just like that. So I'll go ahead and repeat this and go all the way around like this. So after that, we'll come and join the next thing. So this is what I have after joining the belly patch. So the next one we'll swing is the legs. So I'll be sewing the first leg. I'll be sewing one first. So I'll grab my needle. So with the help of my pin, as you can see, I have that here as well. So I put that in position right around where we have the pockets, right here below. So the second leg will go by the side as well, just like that. So we are going to sew just like we did for the pockets. We are picking a stitch from the body and a stitch from the leg. So just make sure it's pointing upward like this, the leg. So I'll pick a stitch from the body and I'll pick a stitch from the leg. I'll pick a stitch from the body. For this we are joining for stitch to stitch. And I'll pick a stitch from the leg. And make sure you are checking before you, as you join, make sure you are joining in the right direction. Pick a stitch from the body. I'll pick a stitch from the leg. So I'll go ahead and repeat this all the way around till I have the leg joined completely. And if you need to stuff more before you join finish, please go ahead and do that, but do not overstuff. After that, I'll make a knot and hide the tail, and I will go ahead and sew the second leg as well. So after sewing the legs, this is what they look like, and right now we'll be sewing the hands. So I'm counting right here where we have the mouth. I'm counting from here, this row. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Between around 4 and 5, that's where we'll join all the way down here. So just the same way we did for the leg, go ahead and join the hands, and after joining that, I'll come and show you the next one we'll be joining. So this is what I have after joining the hands. As you can see, our project is coming together. So next thing we'll be joining is the tail. So I used my pin to put that in place right here. So you're going to start from the third chain from the butthole. 1, 2, 3. So right there, and you just join. So I'm going to thread my needle, and we are going to sew across, and before we join it completely, we are going to stuff it up, not too tightly, but we are going to stuff it. So starting from here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So starting from here, pick a stitch from the body, and I'll pick a stitch from the tail, just like we've been joining. A stitch from the body, a stitch from the tail. So I will go ahead and repeat this all the way across, and like I said, I will stuff before I join completely, then we'll come back and join the spikes. So this is what I have after sewing the tail. You can see I stuffed it. So right now I'll be joining the spikes. So to assemble it, to join it, just put the first spike right here at the edge of the tail. Put the second one right here around where we have the magic ring. So you just place one in the front and you place 2 in between this. So that will help you with the placement of the spike. So just like we've been sewing, we are going to sew a fixed spike to the body, and it's just the same way we've been doing. A stitch from the body, a stitch from the piece we are joining. So I want to thread my needle. So I'll start from the front right here, and I'll pick a stitch. Pick a stitch from the body. Okay. So see if I did not down. So I'll start joining from the front, put the stitch from the body, from the edge, and I'll be going through 2 stitches for the spike. So one in the front, one in the back. I'll go through the next stitch on the head, come out on the next round. Now pick the next stitch here, now pick the next stitch on the other side. Then I'll enter into the next and come out right here on this side. The next stitch here, and I'll pick the next stitch on the other side. So I'll go ahead, continue this. When I have this joined completely, I'll make a knot and fasten up, and I'll go ahead and do the same thing for the remaining 4 spikes. So this is what I have. As you can see, I have all the 5 spikes joined. It's quite simple, like very easy to join. So if you follow the method I showed you, it's very simple to join. So the next thing is we'll be joining the eyes. As you can see, we'll be placing that above the mouth, obviously. So I have the eyes pinned. So we are just going to sew just the normal way we've been sewing. Each stitch from the body, stitch from the eyes, just like that. So pick a stitch here from the body, and pick a stitch from the eyes. So I'll just go ahead and join that, and I'll do the same thing for the second hand. So this is what I have after sewing the eye. So the last thing we'll be sewing is the puppy, and our monster amigurumi is ready. So this is the puppy. We'll be sewing that to the eyes, and I passed the first other end of my yarn. I passed it here. So after sewing, I'll pass the second end, I'll pass it here to make a knot and fasten up. I'll repeat the same thing for this side. It's just the same way we've been sewing. There is nothing special. If you are going to pick a stitch from the pupil, then you sew to the eyes. Yeah, so that's just how we are going to sew it. I'm trying to thread my needle. Yeah, I have that in. So I'll go right inside, come out anywhere. So just like that. And I'll pick from the pupil like so. And if you don't want to sew the pupil, you don't want this, you can just go ahead, it's either use your gum, or if you have a big safety eyes, plastic eyes, you can just use that. That will really come handy. So I will go ahead, sew this. Like I said, after sewing completely, I will pass my yarn to this other end I passed here to make a knot and fasten up. And I'll repeat the same thing for the second cookie. And when I have it done, I'll come and show you what our finished monster cookie looks like. So here I have the eyes sewn to it, and this is what the finished monster looks like. So all you have to do is just feed it with some candy right there, and it poops out hearts. So just stuff it up. So we have this, we have this, and we have this. So very easy to make, simple, easy peasy. And we have our candy monster candy. We have it done and dusted, and I hope you're able to follow the video and make yours. So until next time, and thank you for watching. Bye.